Scream Fortress has arrived. That's right, everybody. It is that time of the year again. It is October, and that it means it is spooky month. And Team Fortress has its annual Halloween update, Scream Fortress 14. This game does turn 15 years old in a matter of days. It's kind of crazy how we've had 14 Scream Fortresses now. And the latest one, as always, adds a lot of more cosmetics and unusual effects. And let's take a look at the actual update that popped up yesterday and see what has been added into the game. Now, it talks about 6 new community maps: Soulmill, Hell Train, Bonesaw, Crasher, Ghoul Pit, and Spooky Ridge. I think this is the most amount of new Halloween maps we've had in the game in a Scream Fortress update in quite some time. I know as a TF2 fan, you kind of like grasp at every crumb of positivity you can take. But I cannot remember a Scream Fortress that had this many maps. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's just my memory, but 6 new maps for you guys to try out during the Scream Fortress update, and then a new cosmetic case called the Ghoulish Gains case. And it's got 22 new cosmetics. There are 5 community-created Halloween restricted items. This is what we call like the costume items, the ones that are Halloween restricted, so you can only wear them during Halloween or during a full moon. So you can get like an item in the case, and you can also get a costume piece as well. And of course, they can be unusual. So that's quite a lot of cosmetic stuff. We'll take a look and we'll do a little mini review over some of the items in the workshop. Also, there's been 5 new taunts: Scaredy Cat, Texas Twirlum, the Travel Agent, Drunken Man's Cannon, and the Shanty Shipmate. So 5 new taunts as well, which is pretty cool. And 25 new community-created unusual effects. Now, 12 effects for the hats, 13 for taunts. I'm going to be real here for a moment and say I'm getting a little overwhelmed with the number of unusual effects that are in the game. Now, when I first started streaming, people would come in and be like, hey, how much is Burning Flames team captain? And I'd be like, haha, I know exactly what hat and unusual effect you're talking about. And these days, people will ask me, and I'm like, you know what? Give me a moment to look up like the cosmetic and the unusual effect, because I can remember what they look like most of the time, but the names as well, is it just me? Am I just getting overwhelmed? Have I been playing this game for too long now that there's too much content in the game in terms of these unusual effects? Or is anyone out there can actually remember all of the unusual effects? But it will be interesting to see. So these unusual effects are going to be active for the current Scream Fortress period. So if you unbox any case, then you'll be able to get one of these new effects. And obviously, if you use an unusual fire during this time as well, the same applies. And there's also going to be a war paint case. It seems every Scream Fortress, we are guaranteed that cosmetic case and the war paint case. And these war paints do not have any new unusual effects. It is still going to be the same previous unusual effects that we have on war paints. Obviously, excluding Energy Orb, which is never on war paints. It's only been on skins. And there's 11 new war paints that make up the Scream Fortress 14 war paint collection. So that's a whole bunch of stuff. We can take a look at it, actually. If you ever want to find out the new stuff that's been added into the game, if you're like, oh, there's a new update and I want to see the new stuff, you can just head over to the workshop under Team Fortress 2, and then you can take a look at the items, and then just look at the ones that are most recently accepted for the game. And then it will give you the ones that have just been added into the update. And we can take a look at them here. First off, we've got the 5 taunts, the Travel Agent, that's obviously for Spy. Then we've got the Shanty Shipmate, the Drunken Man's Cannon, looks both for Demo Man, look pretty cool. Seem to be a lot more taunts these days that involve like vehicles moving around, which is pretty cool. And then we have the Texas Twirlum. Honestly, it's like I said, 15 years old TF2 in a few days' time. How have we not had a taunt like this so far? This is amazing. And then we have an all-class taunt here, the Scaredy Cat, which can be used for everybody, it seems. I'm very Halloween specific. Yeah, it's kind of cool because when you hover over these, you can actually see the Steam profiles of the people who, who've, liked it or added it to their favorites. And you can also click on them if you ever want to have a little bit more information and find out the people who made them, etc. So here we have one of the new unusual effects, the Haunted Kraken, which I think looks really cool. It's actually very similar to something that I wanted for a long time, especially the purple one, something like that. So that's a pretty cool new effect. And then we have the Horseman's Hack, which looks like a kind of like a purple or green axe that comes down, which is pretty cool, very, very spooky, very Halloween. Then we have some of the cosmetics here. Now this is obviously a heavy kind of combo, the Roadblock and the Road Rage. And then we have the Magical Mount. This is one of the costume pieces for Pyro. And then we have the Imp's Imprint and the Masked Fiend, another kind of combo here for the Scout. Goes very well together. As you can see, a lot of combos here. We got another one here, Hunting Cloak and Head Hunter's Brim for the Sniper. And this is something that Halloween kind of brought into TF2 way back. We're talking like 2008, 2009 kind of period where haunted items were a thing and they were brought into the game. And they formed sets. These were the first kind of sets that we had in the game. So it's nice that, we're seeing some more sets going on here. The Pony Express, another one of these costume items that are Halloween specific. And then we have this one. I really like this. As a fan of MVM, it's nice to see that I can finally become a robot myself. And this is for the Demo Man. We've got the Creamed Corn. Or cream corned, I should say, war paint. Beaten and Bruised, this is an all-class, and we've got multiple different styles. Now, some of these ones down here I really, really like. Runic Imprisonment looks really, really cool. It looks like, I played a lot of Elden Ring here this year, and that's given me Elden Ring vibes. I don't know if that was one of the inspirations for it. This is kind of cool. I have some effects that are very similar. Again, I can't remember the names of the effects, but this one looks pretty cool that it's got the shifting colors and stuff like that. This Bonzo Nord, this is really cool. I like this war paint. I think it looks really, really cool. Pungent Poison, very similar to like the acidic bubbles kind of effect that we've had in the past. More war paints here. I like this one. We got multiple different colors of these unusual effects, and that's something that seems to be happening more often. This one is really cool. Another, it's almost like wispy, like steam, but it's obviously the ghosts. We have a lot of ghost unusual effects in the game, such as Haunting Ghosts, the OG, and then we have this one which just looks pretty cool. This one I kind of like. You can have multiple different colors, and again, very spooky, very Halloween themed. This one here, Rising Ritual, also looks very cool indeed. And this is a lot of people, putting out complaints about cosmetics and war paints and stuff like that. But some of these just look so good when they're compared, when you're entering them in for Halloween. These are all very, very Halloween. And this is Marigold Ritual. This looks so cool. Very shiny, very, very pretty looking. Horror Shawl for the heavy here. A nice little mask. We can go on to page 2. This page 2 actually has some. This is the right page. I was going to say I've gone to the end here. Then we have another kind of combo here. Not costume combo, rather like an outfit for the medic this time. Reminds me kind of like the old sort of. Is it Dr. Brainiac or something like that? One of the old haunted items, but a little bit more up to date. This is like a Killer Bee kind of one, but ghouly. And the interesting thing from this one that I've been told, I was in Discord with a bunch of people last night, and a lot of people getting hyped, telling me about their unboxes and going over the items. And I think with this one, the more worn it becomes, the more kind of green ectoplasm, slime, whatever you want to call it, gets on the weapon. So this may be a case of an example. This might be an example of a weapon that the more worn it becomes, the more kind of, people may want it more. Interesting to see. We have some more war paints here and some different hats, this one stood out to me immediately. The Propaniac. I love the name. Reminds me of the Brave Bunser or something like that for the heavy, way back. And we've had a couple more of these kind of items. I love the little mohawk going on here. The Cabinet Man. We had the Beat Boy kind of thing, giving me vibes of that. Looks very cool. Some more like wizard hats. Of course, there's always going to be a monoculus-based item added into the game. Another kind of outfit here, safety stripes and the firearm protector. This is the kind of double for the soldier. You can now be a bear in the game. If that was missing for you before, it can be Misha's more. This is another one of the costume pieces. I really like this, the pumpkin plastered war paint. That looks really cool indeed. And this is one of this costume piece I absolutely love. The fire breather, obviously for pyro. I used to really like these kind of costume pieces. They are Halloween restricted, unfortunately, but this one is one of the ones that stood out for me looking through the items before. And then this one here, the Hypergon war paint, I think is it just looks so nice. I mean, it's just so crisp and clean, and I can imagine fashion new versions of these excuse me, are going to be very popular. So those are the items that have been added into the game. Like I said, head to the workshop and look at the most recently added accepted for the game if you want to take a look at them, or look at them in any more particular detail. If you click on them, you do get to see things like them added to particular skins and comments and things like that. If we move on to the rest of the update though, there isn't too much to talk about. Like I said, new maps, new cases, and things like that. But the Halloween contracts have been reset. And if you don't already have a soul gargoyle, then you'll be given one. And I thought, you know what? You get souls from playing MVM, so I must have a load of souls on my soul gargoyle. I checked it out. It's about like 95,000. And I thought, that seems quite a lot. But I'm sure there's people out there who've got more. So let me know in the comments what your soul gargoyle kind of level, how many souls have you collected so far? Has anyone beaten mine? I'm sure there must be some people out there who've got way more souls on their soul gargoyle. So yeah, just let me know what number you are at the moment. But you can do the Halloween contracts, you can get the chances for getting the cases, and obviously get some of the new items. And it's basically the same kind of thing we normally see with Scream Fortress, resetting of the contracts and going through, and it tells you when it will end, all the way through to November the 7th. So we've just got over a month in order to do this. Now, it does specify here, all cosmetic and taunt cases will give the unusual effects from this year instead of the normal ones. And I already know of a bunch of people who have been opening other cases and getting the new Halloween effects on some of the older cosmetics, hats, and things like that. So be aware. And also, Snakewater is now the new localization files, I think, because it seems that Snakewater is getting a lot of updates for some reason. Just, I don't know, somebody at Valve is just like, you know what, I love Snakewater. I'm gonna keep updating it until it is perfect. So Snakewater fans out there, yeah, good times for you too. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd take a quick look at some of the cosmetics and the stuff added into the game. Let me know what you guys think. Like, what's your favorite cosmetic that you've seen so far? What's your favorite map if you've played any of Scream Fortress so far? Any of the new maps standing out for you? What's your favorite? And any of the new unusual effects? Has anyone unboxed something with one of the new effects? Any effects that you really want to see? Any combos that you're already thinking about? Let me know in the comments. I will be doing an unboxing later on in the week in a couple of days, so expect to see that on YouTube. But if you do want to watch it live, I'll probably be doing it on Saturday, over on my Twitch stream. So do check out my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/CJ if you want to watch that. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time.